Hi, Brit. So, welcome to our first series of Prax Convos. Thanks so much for taking out your time. It's we've been obviously observing Magic Pin very closely, and it's awesome to sort of see the growth trajectory that you guys have been creating. I think my first question, to you is that just if you look at businesses operating within sort of your space and more hyper local, etc., working with retail, how are companies gearing up to just re-accelerate operations? What are you guys doing?
Fundamentally, what matters is if you are an internet-based business or not, and second, if you are, which segment are you actually catering to? Right. So for someone like us, let's say we are heavily retail dependent. So for us, that sector fundamentally is more affected because of lockdown. And thus re-acceleration will mean how do you relook at your business model, look at the proposition that you had for your customers, and in our case, merchants, and then make sure that you can still deliver the same value proposition. Right. So looking at all your business processes, right from what you are offering, what you're creating, and then reimagining it for the world of post-COVID is what needs to be done before you can imagine re-acceleration. And for example, for us, we have actively taken steps to make sure that the retailers who are still present, and we were talking about it earlier as well, that they are actually the most anti-fragile. They had least efficiency, so that meant that they are most adaptable to a situation like this. They have served the customers really well. So what we have done is made sure that they can actually reach out to their customers, not just offline, but online as well. So that's just one example of how companies are adapting. That's how we have adopted. And I think every company will figure out their own solutions to how do you work in an environment where fundamentals are different now.
And tell me one thing, if we talk a little bit about the consumers, right? Do you think there's going to be a lasting near-term as well as a long-term, behavioral change in how they buy goods, and look at essentials, non-essentials? Will they buy online more? You guys be sort of slightly at a benefit relatively. Everything is going to come down for some time, but at least relatively, will you be better off and get more adoption online? What's your view on that?
If you look at a higher level, the first order thinking, you would probably imagine that the fundamental shifts have happened and users will not behave the same way. There is going to be some fear cycle around going offline, meeting with a lot of people, being at crowded places. However, I feel there are two things that we are underestimating as of now, which might lead to the situation not being as grim as we all imagining today. One is that there are jobs that all of these offline places do. Then the job is not the most obvious one. Let's take an example of a coffee shop, right? You go and drink coffee, but that's not why you go to a coffee shop. You probably go to meet someone or you go to think about something. That job is hard to replace online. Maybe we'll find a solution. Maybe virtual reality is the answer, but it's hard to find a direct replacement. The second is human ingenuity, right? We humans are known to adapt to change and figure solutions out. So I believe that these two things over a long period of time, and that is anyone's guess, will probably mean that we are not too different from the world that is today, but we have learned to live with the virus, just like we have learned to live with the multiple viruses that we had in the past. And thus what you can do, which I think is the only known truth as of now, is that your business operations are not going to be the same as they used to be 3 months back, right? So to give an example, if you noticed, Amazon actually is going to spend $4 billion this year just on COVID prevention. That fundamentally means your cost of operations is going to go up. So as a business, that's the main thing you can focus on, right? Is to see how your operations can be streamlined, how you can take care of your employees, and then work to change your business model to whatever you see on a day-to-day basis. And hopefully that is sufficient to overcome this situation.
If we talk a little bit about the retailers, right, and I mean there figures around 10 or 11 sort of million total retailers, including grocery pan India, right? These guys would, they would definitely see some drop in footfall, right? Again, these are footfall-driven businesses.
Yes.
But so how will the economics rebalance each other, right? Because will the rental yields come down? Will sort of product margins increase? Right? Will they sort of increase prices? How do you think the economics will reshift and make profits reappear?
Actually, some of that is already started to happen. So there are a couple of things that we anecdotally know, that the distributor margins have come down and the retailer discounts have dropped. So in fact, in the past, retailers will actually sell at some discount if you are a customer close by, and if you're a loyal customer, now all of those discounts have vanished, right? So there is some impact on the economic supply chain. Now, when it comes to actual drop in business, like at least our internal data was showing about 30% drop in grocery, whereas in food and fashion, it was almost like 80-85% drop. So grocery was less impacted. And now the same grocery is actually showing increase. The biggest thing that we still don't know yet is on the back-end supply chain, the actual supply of goods. I mean, I have been doing this small exercise, which is every time I buy, I look at the date of manufacturing of the goods. Most of the goods are actually manufactured before lockdown, and the manufacturing units are still not open. So what we might see is another impact, just because fundamentally the stocks are not there.
And do you think then this is going to lead to sort of higher CPI because there will not be enough supply? The demand is still there, and at least
yes, absolutely. In fact, there is going to be a lot more demand for marketing, especially performance-led marketing. So if you look at latest Facebook results, right, their actually ad revenue is doing pretty well. In fact, most of the brand revenues have shifted to ROI revenue. In fact, Facebook has gone public saying that ROI-led marketing is what most brands are spending on. And I think the same thing will happen in local retail as well. These local retailers will spend because they know the demand exists. The unknown is how much supply will they have from the manufacturers. I think that we will see over the next month or so.
And what's happening to rent? At least for the apparel non-essential segments, has what happened during the lockdown phase? Were sort of rentals, deferred or completely cancelled by the landlords after the lockdown? Are the yields coming down? The rates coming down? What's happening with the retailers?
So I think it's generically the answer is that most people have not paid the rent. Right now, some cases, at least I know anecdotally, most people have waived off the rent for the lockdown period. Now, I think it was 1 month, most people were fine because they understood the situation. Probably more than 1 month, it will not be waiving off, it will not be deferring. But rental has not been that big an issue. In fact, we spoke with many of our food merchants also, and most of them have not paid the rent because their landlords have not asked for it. So in terms of their cost structure, rent was not a big headache, at least in April. I don't know how it will be in May.
And rent for these retail outlets would be what, less than 20%, of
15-20%.
And tell me one thing, as the economy sort of reopens now, we will have something like a state-wise differentiation, right? Some states will be more operational in supply chain, some states will be less. That also means that the back-end supply chain, how much is it feeding into the retail will depend on which state you are in.
Yeah, it's going to be complex.
It's going to be complex. So how do you think, how will this whole situation pan out? Will certain states, at least states which are more green in nature, more towards the northeast, towards the eastern side, will they get back to, let's say, the earlier fill rates faster than the others? Will it depend on category, let's say essentials, grocery, apparel?
I think it will depend on all of these factors. So I think the first important thing is which category are we talking about, right? Because that category, the manufacturing is going to get ramped up fastest and the distribution is already in place, right? Most of the essential, the supply chain is still working. So that set of products is definitely going to come back faster. Non-essentials will take time. And I think the non-essentials is where most of the consumer brands will face the biggest issues because the supply chain is not optimized to handle green, orange and red zones. And it's a lot of complexity. Even a distributor will find it hard to make sure that his daily routine of delivering stuff to retailer is optimized based on the zones. My sense is within a month, we will be forced to open it. There is no other optionality because the cost of fixing that supply chain is just too high. We might as well go to a situation where it is as close as possible to the old world with safeguards against around how much can you aggregate in terms of people, like just making sure people are not spreading the virus. But the rest of the things.
Thanks so much for your time. It's always to talk to you and look forward and all the best. Wish you the best of health to you, your family, friends,
and to you as well.